Look, I wasn't planning on ranking the shows I saw in 2025 because there's a lot of shows I started and haven't finished, like Wednesday or Twisted Metal or even the latest season of The Bear. There's a lot of seasons that I do still want to check out, like the final Cobra Kai season. I have not checked that out yet. Or Stranger Things, because I am 2 seasons in on my first watch of the show. But I figured, you know what? I'm going to rank the 8 seasons of television that I saw this year. There's a lot of comic book television. That's really what I watch, the things that I can make videos on. But before I dive into my ranking of the TV shows I saw in 2025, what is your ranking in the comments section, either on TikTok or on YouTube? And if you're on TikTok, follow my TikTok. It'd be really appreciated, Zach D Films. And then go to YouTube and look up Zach D Films as well. I get that it'll go to the other Zach D Films, but just look up Zach D Films movie review or something along the lines of that, and I'm sure you'll find the channel. And with that said, let's rank the 8 TV shows I saw in 2025. Number 8, and it's not even close, we got Ironheart, a MCU show that feels like no passion was put into it. Like, it's a character that I like her comics, I liked her in Wakanda Forever, that she's just absolutely ruined here. The whole premise of the show is she joins a group of criminals so she could get money to buy the Ironheart suit, as the criminals are robbing stuff, going after a certain company, and they need her because she has an Ironheart suit. So the whole premise of the show, she needs money to build an Ironheart suit. Meanwhile, she uses the Ironheart suit she already has to go get the money that she needs to build a freaking Ironheart suit. Does that make any sense? No, because it doesn't make sense. She's just incredibly unlikable. You don't care about any of the characters. They bring Obadiah Stane's grandson or son or something into the mix here, and he's just a complete waste of a character. So just a show that, I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't even finish because I got like halfway through the second to last episode and thought, you know what? Why am I wasting my time watching this show? So I didn't even finish it. Ironheart sucks. And it honestly hurts even more considering I finished Wonder Man last night, review coming soon on my YouTube channel if you're watching on TikTok, again, Zach D Films. But that show is awesome. That show is incredible, and it has so much thought and care put into it, meanwhile Ironheart does not. Now, to be clear, there is a massive jump up from number 8 to number 7. Number 7 is Daredevil Born Again. There are things I love in here. There are some episodes that are really good. There are some good action sequences. It's violent, gory, something that I didn't think Disney Plus would bring to Daredevil, even though the Netflix show did. But what Disney Plus adds to it is just good. Like, it's really good, the gore and amount of stuff, and it's cool to see these characters back. But overall, the season was incredibly frustrating to me because you go throughout the entire season building towards this big fight between Daredevil and Wilson Fisk, and the finale of the season is, we gotta build a team to stop Wilson Fisk. So the entire first season is set up for season 2. Season 2 comes out in a month and a half. Hopefully, it lives up to the hype of this one. But, I mean, the first season really disappointed me. But I am still excited for season 2. Number 6, It, Welcome to Derry. This is the show in the It universe, and a lot of things I loved. Pennywise, gruesome, brutal as ever. He's awesome. The gore, it's all cranked up to a max. We explore the world of Derry, which is pretty interesting. And one thing I also really enjoyed was the overall plot of the show. I think it's more interesting. The adult characters are good. Dick Hallorann in here is pretty awesome. The problem is the kid characters are just insufferable, and you're following them throughout the entire season, and you just don't care about a single one of them. Episode 7 was the best episode of television to release all year long last year, and made me care for Richie in that episode. But throughout the entire series, I didn't like him. Ronnie just complains all the time. That's her character arc. So none of the kid characters are likable, and you're kind of root for Pennywise to kill them because they're insufferable. But I think by the time we get to the back half of the season, I was more invested than I was in the first half. It did kind of come together for me. I liked it, but I was frustrated by it. Number 5, Peacemaker Season 2. Now, again, this is another season of television that is incredibly frustrating because there's so much things I love in here. The alternate universe is awesome. The fact that they all turn out to be racist Nazis is hilarious. There's some good brutal action sequences. Vigilante, my favorite character in the show, is hilarious and has some really good moments in here. And at the core of the show, it's about Chris trying to find out who he really is, and that can carry some really good emotions. And the finale finale where they're just kind of sitting around and you kind of just dive into the characters, that is just phenomenal. But overall, like, the majority of the show is great, but then you get to the finale and it's like, that's it. You leave so many plot lines unanswered. The stuff with Rick Flag, the stuff with the alternate universe, all that is unanswered. And you'd think, okay, yeah, we'll get it in the next season. This is the final season. There's not going to be any more. And so while you do have the character moments on a story level, there's just so much that's left unanswered. And at the end of the day, you're like, okay, that was unsatisfying, considering the final 10 minutes of the season is just a giant dance video. We could have had a better story for this season. Kicking off the top 4 Marvel Zombies. Now, I get it's not perfect, but I'm a massive fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I love these characters. I love Marvel characters. And I'm a massive fan of zombie movies. So, typically, you combine zombies and Marvel, and it's pretty cool. There's some violent action here. The animation is cool. I don't think the voice cast is necessarily all that great, but still, it takes the best season, or it takes the best episode from What If. You might hear sirens in the background if you can hear that. That's crazy. It takes the best episode concept from What If, the zombies, makes a whole series out of it, and it's a lot of fun, and I kind of want a season 2. Top 3, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, another Marvel animated show. As you can tell, the Marvel animation definitely outweighed the Marvel live-action television this year. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is really good. It dives into an alternate universe of Spider-Man, kind of gets the origin story. You see cool villains, a cool concept with him working with Norman Osborn I thought was really cool. Very good animation. The stuff that you get with Tombstone is really interesting. And Scorpion is a really cool villain. Overall, as a big fan of Spider-Man, this is kind of like an animated Spider-Man show that I could turn on and I'm like, oh, it's Spider-Man. And I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm very excited for season 2. Number 2, Alien Earth. This is a very good season of television. I know that a lot of people have a lot of issues with this season, and the very same reason they have those issues is why I love the show. It's not typical Alien. It's not exactly what you'll get inside of this franchise. But what it is dives into characters, dives into interesting plot arcs, dives into interesting ideas that I all thought were incredibly compelling, while having some pretty gnarly alien action. Yeah, a lot of it's off-screen. What do you expect? It's a TV show on FX. But overall, I think the idea about the kids going into human bodies is kind of ridiculous, but what they do with that, they dive into it. It's a very interesting concept, and overall, the show is interesting and made me care for the characters, and overall, a show that I just really enjoyed. Now, I will say the finale kind of left me underwhelmed, and I think they greenlit it for season 2, so that's why I'm a little more excited for it, or I'm really excited for season 2, but I think the finale left me off on a bad taste in my mouth. But by far, it's not even close. The best TV series of 2025, Adolescence, on Netflix, 4-episode miniseries. Not only by a stylistic standpoint, where the whole show is shot as a oneer, which is just awesome and just a really creative way to make a show, but the themes inside the show are just, they're terrifying, they're heartbreaking, all of that is perfect. The show is about a kid who murdered somebody. And it dives into what's happening in the real world, kind of how screens have to do with it, always being on your phones. Kind of dives into like the sexual attraction that male have to female, and I thought it was just dived into that really well. It makes you care for this kid, while at the same time, you know that he's so twisted in the head and you hate him. And at that, it's just very emotional. You're following this family that, you know, their youngest kid just killed someone. And you're following them when that happens and that part of their lives. And it can just be heartbreaking. The dialogue is excellent and the themes are perfect. So Adolescence, a very dark show. If you're not into shows like this, don't watch it. But man, it affected me on an emotional level. And Adolescence is the best TV series of 2025. Again, what's your ranking of the shows you saw in 2025? And subscribe if you're on YouTube and follow if you're on TikTok.